Yeah, hi there, and these comments are for A. I'm just using your name for privacy purposes, and you completed my second integrated speaking practice test. This is the most difficult practice test and the speaking task on the TOEFL IBT. It's academic, reading, listening, and speaking. So let's hear what you have to say.
The reading passage and the listening discussed some risks of nuclear energy. For instance, producing energy, producing weapon-grade uranium, and the risk of accident. The reading passage acknowledged that the technology for producing nuclear energy can also be used to produce highly enriched weapon-grade uranium. In addition, the talk mentioned another risk of nuclear energy, and that is the risk of accident.
Okay.
We're on April 26, 1986.
So that's pretty good. It looks like you have a fairly good understanding of the reading and also the lecture. Now, one thing that you didn't do that you can do is in the beginning you might say something like this. You might say the reading passage discusses the dangers of nuclear energy, and then the listening passage gives an example to illustrate those dangers. You know, so the lecture is kind of an example of what can happen when nuclear energy goes wrong, and in the case there's an explosion.
The number 4 reactor, which is located in former USSR, present-day Ukraine, exploded. Moreover, the explosion caused the worst nuclear accident ever. For instance, many people were killed instantly. Thousands of cancer deaths were a direct result of the accident.
So one thing you're doing here, you're trying to include all the information. That's why your task is over a minute long. I think that you're closer to 2 minutes, am I right? Well, you're 1 minute and 38. You're 1 minute and 42 seconds long, so let me ask you this. When you're summarizing, what is your purpose in summarizing the reading and the lecture? A summary is to take a chunk of text, in this case a reading and a lecture, and condense it in shorter form. So when you get to the actual lecture and you start talking about the number of people who died and all that, you don't have to get that specific. You can talk about there was an explosion, many people died because of it, and there was nuclear contamination throughout the world. Focus more on the big ideas in the lecture without getting into all of those details. All right, let's see what you do at the very end here. Hold on.
The risks of accident.
Let me go back to the beginning one more time.
The reading passage and the listening discussed some risks of nuclear energy. For instance, producing energy, producing weapon-grade uranium, and...
Okay, so you didn't exactly make the connection that I was suggesting, but still you had a lot of information. You had too much information, in fact. But let's take a look at the rubrics. I can figure out a score right now. So, one of the things I'd like to have you do is keep practicing with your pronunciation. Keep going through those pronunciation lessons. Now, from a topic development standpoint, I think that you just try to relax and try not to include all information, but try to focus on the main points of both the reading and the lecture, and then what you think are the most important supporting points. Now, your challenge for the next task, I want you to limit your response to 59 or 60 seconds. So you have to get it down to about a minute. And that means you have to be selective in what you include here. Okay, overall here, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4. So this is going to put you at about 19 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Alrighty, anyway, thank you for completing the assignment. I look forward to listening to your next practice test.